Yeah.
Hi guys, welcome back to Irish Footy Vlogs. Welcome to a review of the FAI Cup games. We're also going to review Sligo's 1-0 defeat to Shamrock Rovers, and we look ahead to Bohemians and Derry on Monday night as well. Before we actually get started, everybody knows, well, not everybody, so that's why I'm saying it. Ush Bosch, the DJ, has released a new track. How did people listen to it, basically? Where
Yeah,
did they
you
go?
can. Yeah, you can
Fair
get
play
it.
to you, by the way. Congratulations as well.
Cheers, I thanks. Yeah, you can check it out. 4 a.m. It's a collab with a Dublin vocalist, Noah Scollard. So you can check it out on Spotify, Osh Bosh, OISBOSH, and it's called 4 a.m. Get it in SoundCloud or iTunes, wherever you get your music. You can check it out there.
Absolutely brilliant. And just
Yeah.
before we move on as well, you're actually doing prints, aren't you, as well? I'll stick up a picture now of Tunde actually holding one of your prints
Yeah,
that of
yeah,
himself, basically. So
yeah. So
explain that and where do people go if they want to make an order?
yeah. So I'm just doing graphic design in college. So yeah, I just started doing these wee vector illustrations over the summer, and a lot of my work is League Ireland players. I've done the likes of Romeo Parks and Lewis Banks, and even Harps players and Georgie Kelly. So yeah, you can check me out. I offer prints as well, the likes of your prints like that there. So yeah, just we A5, A4 prints. So you can check me out on Instagram and Facebook, Oshbosh Designs. Pretty simple. So yeah, if you're looking for a print of a League Ireland player or even some of your own photos, just give us a shout there.
Brilliant. I've made an order myself. Keane, you didn't release a track this week, did you?
Oh no, not yet. Wait until the cup final.
Yeah, either have I, to be fair. So we'll start off with Finn Harps and Dundalk. It finished 3-3 at Finn Park, and just an incredible game. Obviously you were there, but it looked like Dundalk were going to win this game. They're 3-0 up, gone into the closing stages against 10 men. But Harps, 2 Sean Boyd goals, and I'm sure the place went mad. How do you see the game overall now that you've maybe calmed down a little bit?
Yeah, as I say, it was one of the best nights since the promotion in 2015 when BJ Banda scored that header against Limerick. It was shook to the rafters when that goal went in. It was just I've been watching the goal maybe I say I've watched it nearly 80 times at this stage. It was so good. I like to be honest, it just everything kind of that went bad for us just went bad for us in the night. Really, the decisions we had obviously we took the lead with Tunde took the goal very well, and then also straight down the other end and sending off and a penalty, and of course Hubin sticks it away, no bother to him, and
What
then
did you think of the sending off and the penalty
I couldn't
yourself?
actually see it, but I look back on it, yeah, and I think it is fair enough. It looks like
Okay.
the hand with the ball that he basically touched it on the line, to stop the shot. But Harps were under the cosh straight after that, then. So I mean, the goal could have came after if it wasn't the penalty. But yeah, so obviously they had the penalty, and then obviously send off, and then yeah, basically obviously playing against 10 men, Dundalk kind of took advantage of that there, and they were passing the ball around very confidently, and yeah, of course they scored. Sean Murray scored a great effort. Jesus, I'd say just out the edge of the box, and she's beat McGinley no problem. So obviously heading in 2-1, and then of course they fucking got another goal. Then good Hubin header now, to be honest. And then yeah, to be honest, didn't see them coming back. I'll admit that didn't see them coming back, and I was just thinking we won't get a trip to the Viva this year. We might do it next year, whatever. But yeah, fair play to Sean Boyd, stepped up in the big game moment, and yeah, a brace at the end. He hasn't had many opportunities, this season, and when the opportunity came, he took it, and yeah, great night.
I mean, Keane, it shows some character, doesn't it, to be 3-1 down with a few minutes to go and down to 10 men. And they were down to 10 men for a good chunk of the game, you have to
Yeah,
remember as
an
well. So
hour, yeah, yeah.
fatigue is hitting in at this stage, Keane. We'll talk about Dundalk in a minute, but you have to give great credit to Harps, Keane, don't you?
Yeah, great credit. I don't think Harps know they're beaten, and I think that's evident. I think I say it every week, and I think everyone says it every week. But they showed it again there on Friday night, and it's excellent for them. Look, it was a great occasion to come back, and it's 3-all, and everyone's delighted. But at the same time, I think they need to remember a little bit that they haven't won the game. They have to go to Oriel now, which is going to be another tough game, and they have to put in a big performance again. And I've no doubt they will put in a big performance. And if they come out on the right side of the result, brilliant. But, I think Dundalk, if there was another 3 or 4 minutes in that game, it might have been a little bit nervy. But you know, I think it's setting up nice now for Tuesday night. But look, you give credit to Finn Harps to come back like that and to put the performance in like that down to 10 men. There was a bit of bout from both teams. I'm not going to be too heavily praiseful for Finn Harps, but you know they were excellent. They got themselves back into the game, but Dundalk were awful as well, and some of the defending, especially for the last goal, like you know the ball getting lumped in, and now that's bread and butter heading it away. So you know, but at the same time, Sean Boyd has to be there to stick it into the net. And in fairness to him, he had an awful lot to do. He wasn't handed the goal on the plate. You know, he had to take it down. He had to take a touch and put it into the net, and he did. And I thought, like, you know, it's excellent. And, you know, just to see the place full and to see, like, behind the goal where the goal was scored. Like, I watched it a couple of times myself. I was, the worst thing about the cup games, you have to pay for every game. Usually, Finn Harps game is on at 8 o'clock, and I'm just on the bus home from Richmond or wherever it is, and I'm watching the last 15 minutes, but I wasn't paying for it. If I had went the extra time, we would have for the way home. But you know, it's to just watch back and see the video and see all the fans jumping. Like, to be honest, I think I just watched the crowd, I'd say 5 or 6 times, and I didn't even look at the players at all. And you know, it's excellent to see, and you know, I'm delighted that they got out there with a draw, but it's going to be a big ask for Finn Harps again. Let's be honest. Like, I didn't think they were favourites in the game, and I knew coming into it, and I still don't think they're favourites to go through. But you know, with the way Dundalk have been, like, I think the fear factor of Dundalk is gone.
Yeah.
And you know, Finn Harps are like, you know, we can go here, we can get something out of this. It's going to be a long night for Dundalk.
It's a defining night in many ways for them, isn't
it?
it?
Look, it's everything. The whole season relies on this 90 minutes or 120 minutes if it goes all the way. And you know, it's going to be a nice occasion. It's you know, it's a Tuesday night. You'd like to think, you know, one of the channels will show it or something, you know, but I don't think that's going to happen. But it'd be nice to see it, or even do a free to air one, so people is, you know what I mean. Now I know probably everyone in the world this side has a dodgy stick and they're going to watch it anyway. But you know, it's you'd like to think you'd like to think that was out there, you know, that. Because I tell you, this is a massive game, and you know, I don't know what time the draw for the cup is at. So I think, you know, Finn Harps and Dundalk will probably by kickoff know who they're playing in the next round if they do win it. So it's going to be a nice one. It's going to be tasty. I'm looking forward. It's going to make for a good occasion.
Oh, Shane, I was just going to say, Tuesday night, it's not ideal, is it, really, for Finn Harps, particularly going down there on a Tuesday night, but you expected a big enough crowd?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's an allocation made, and so we have a bus going down. So we'll make our voices heard, no doubt.
Yeah, I know Nigel's going to bring the drums, but will you bring the guitar maybe? Just to stoke it up another bit more.
I'll bring the deck.
Yeah, we'll move on. It's a good, you can promote your new tune there as well. You know? We'll move on, and the Fish UCD 2, Waterford 3. I'm not going to lie, I saw a couple of goals, but didn't see much from this one, to be honest. As Keane says, you have to pay for the game, all the games, the FAI Cup. But again, a mental game, really. There were some referee controversies in this one as well, I believe. But you know, Brian Murphy making a big save, Keane, at 2-2, which was crucial, and then Prince scoring the winner in the 90th minute to set Waterford through. And I think I've seen an interview with Mark Bircham after the game, actually, and he felt that, you know, they were fortunate enough to get through, that they didn't show character, but this was always going to be a banana skin. Nearly proved to be the case, isn't it?
Yeah, look, I remember back in 2019 when UCD beat Waterford, and Waterford had a decent side back then as well. I think that was in around the quarter-final stage as well. I was at that game. I remember it well. Was it 2018 or 2019? I think it might have been 2018. You know, I was looking at the game. I got to see. I seen the full game on yesterday, so I was looking forward to sitting down and looking at it. Waterford were atrocious for a long part of the game, and UCD were deservedly ahead in the game. Waterford got back into it, and then UCD went ahead again. And you know, I felt when UCD went ahead again, that was it. it looked like I knew the score of the game, but you know, you're looking at it and you're saying, how did Waterford get back into it? Because they were awful. I think anything that they were trying to do wasn't coming off. And Mark Bertram was giving out the sideline, and what, you know, rightly so. He had a right pop at them at half time, I'd say, and you know, came out second half. Fortunately, again, got through and got the winner then at the end, which was look amazing. And that's, you know, that's twice now Waterford have done that. And I think, like Finn Harps, I think it's, you know, it's, they don't know when they're beaten. And you know, I think a lot of people are writing Waterford off, writing Dundalk and Finn Harps off, saying that Bowles and Pats are probably favourites for the cup. It's anyone's game here. It's literally anyone's cup. I don't fancy going to Ballybuffet. I don't fancy going to Oriel. I don't fancy going to the RSC or Dalymount Park, and that's the God honest truth. It's going to be. It's such a tough semi-final draw when it's made, and we know the final 4 teams. It's look, Waterford. They just don't know when they're beaten, and we've seen it in the last round, and we've seen it in league games as well this year. You know, they literally Pats held on for their life towards the end of that game as well when they played Pats, and they can come and play big teams. Rovers was the same. Apart from them awful decisions, I think they probably could have got something out of the game. But you know, it's going to be an interesting one. I think Finn Harps and Waterford are going to start looking at the league as well. And I think that's most important. Look, it'd be great to win. I'm being honest. I think it'd be great.
Yeah, but they're not out of the relegation mire yet, aren't they?
If Finn Harps or Waterford got knocked out of the cup now and stayed in the division, I think everyone would be happy. You know, and I think that's priority. You know, because look at these types of clubs. You know, that's the difference between expenses and actually getting a wage. That's the difference between being let go and then working for free for the club. You know, so there's a lot of people's livelihoods at stake. You know, at these type of clubs. So I'd like to see clubs like that stay in the Premier Division more so than win the cup. But you know, if they can do both, why not? And you know, it's anyone's game. I'm really looking forward to it. The last semi-final, Pats played Harps. 24.
We won't remind us, you know that.
No, that was a fantastic Pats side, and
it was a big gap in quality.
It wouldn't be a great Finn Harps side, you know. And then you're looking
actually,
now.
Were they in the first division at the time without going straight too much? Were they?
Yeah,
they were. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So you know, it just shows you now. I think teams are fearful of Harps, and they're giving them the credit and the respect that they deserve. I think, being honest, Finn Harps are probably getting more respect than Dundalk at this minute in time in the league.
100%.
So, you know, it's going to be interesting. Waterford as well. I'm delighted that they got through for Mark, and he's so animated on the sideline. He's genuine. He's such a nice guy. I've met him in Richmond and spoke to him for a long time, and you know, he's such a nice fella, and he gets every grain of rice out of them players, and you know, that's all you can ask for. So, you know, it's really shaping up. I'm telling you, it's going to be fantastic.
It was actually interesting to see the owner of the club up with the fans as well, which is great to see. That was deadly. Jeans and everything, you know, real kind of. I know you're probably putting on a bit of a show, but at the same time, like most owners don't do that.
You wouldn't see it in the Premier League. That's the good thing about it. Like, you know, it's the greatest league in the world. Like, it's not caught that there. Just, you know, it's. That there is just
I think it was on the drums at half time at one point as well.
Look, it's brilliant. You see little things like that, and it's brilliant. And there's been such a disconnect with Power and Waterford and stuff like that. And to just see that, and to just see an owner that actually wants to improve the club, and he doesn't, like, I'm not saying by improving the club he has to pay a small fortune. He doesn't. You know, all he has to do is do the basics right and start working. And once the fans believe in it and buy into it, and you know, and I think they are. I think Mark Bertram is the man for the job. And like, I'm not sure. You go on to Waterford social media pages, and you know, you're looking, and he's out with the kids. He's out like doing a photo shoot with a car or something. He's doing something in the community, which is
not
brilliant.
sure I want to see him doing a photo shoot with a car. You're putting images in my head.
You know, it's excellent, but just getting that went a little bit off topic there, but just at the game, you know, UCD played that part in a great cup tie, and it was a real cup tie. I had everything about it, and you know, they just pipped them. Waterford just pipped them in the end, and I think, being honest, if I went to a replay, I'd fancy Waterford to win it either way. So I think UCD will probably be happy enough in the end. I know it's tough to take, but considering they don't have to get down there, then they're probably going to be way up against it. So, you know, I'm happy enough that Waterford got in, and you know, this whoever's in the semi-finals, it's going to be a great one. Both games.
Yeah, I mean, just quickly on UCD before we move on. I mean, Whelan scored a 17th goal in the season, all competitions, and Kerrigan, midfield player, scored 11 goals. 2 young players, 2 prospects. They really put themselves in the shop window as well against, you know, a good Premier Division side. Very difficult to see those players being kept at UCD next season, isn't it?
Yeah, Jesus, he's done really well. Even Kerrigan, you know, last season as well, you know, very good. Like, and you could say the same for Whelan. Like, obviously Whelan's in the 21 setup, wasn't he, at the minute? Like, so
Scores,
I mean, that's just it just says something there. Like, yeah, I can see him. Well, it really probably depends really on his education and so on too. But I'd say whenever he does finish the course, you know, a bit like what Georgie Kelly did was finish his course and then moved on to Dundalk, or, you know. So I'd say there'll be a hunt for him, you know, for Colin Whelan and even Kerrigan, you know, whenever the chance arises, you know. But even go back to Waterford, it's just that never say die attitude. It's a bit like Harps and Friday night, like it's Waterford. You have that there in their team. They never give up, like, and you know, you have to credit them, you know, because they really did pull out of the bag, and fair play to them.
Absolutely. Richmond Park finished at Pass Athletic 3, Wexford 0. Dar Burns with 2 goals, Coughlin with a late penalty. An early sending off to Bone, I suppose, got Pats fans a little bit concerned here. Crowley got sent off later on. We'll talk about that as well, Keane. And the penalty, it did look like, in fairness, was outside the box, didn't it? The original foul, didn't it? But yeah, talk us through those things first.
Yeah,
Decisions.
Sending off, never sending off. You know, like, you know, I'm not going to get into this where I'm just targeting referees or that, like, because they're top people, and I get on very well with the people. But the decision, you know, is questionable. I didn't even think it was a foul. Never mind a red card. And then, you know, what happened, I don't know if you've seen a back kick, did you?
Yeah.
Look, I don't know if it's a foul at max, no card. Especially 7 minutes into a game. But he sent them
well,
off.
to be fair, if it's a sending off offence, then it doesn't matter the time, in my opinion. But I see what you're saying. But yeah, look, it's harsh, to say the least.
7 minutes into the game, you know, I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't. And then all of a sudden, I'm looking at Burma, I'm looking at Forrester, and they're so wound up, and they were absolutely
Paddy Barrett.
They were in Tommy's ear for about 25 minutes, and they were. It was nervy because, you know, we would have liked to think that we'd be ahead in the game probably after about 15, 20 minutes. And, you know, we can maybe get a second before half time and make the second half that a little bit easier, with next week's game being so big that you didn't have to. I don't mean to disrespect for what Wexford, but I mean, you didn't have to dig in deep to too much, you know, like, and we did in the first half. We had to dig in deep. Wexford didn't come and play football. They had a game plan, and it was try and kick it long and get it over the top, and it worked. The game plan,
particularly with Bone sent off, I think it was, yeah.
The game plan was working. That's how the red card came about. And, you know, the game plan started working. They started frustrating Pats a little bit as well, and when they didn't have the ball, they sat in deep, and, you know, we really had to go and break them down. And we did, and I think that's credit again to Pats. We didn't feel sorry for ourselves. We got up, we got the goal, the vital goal from Derry Bones, and then, you know, we're going in ahead at half time, which is needed to 100%. And
yeah, because that early sending off, it actually sets it up for a little shock, doesn't it? A little bit.
Exactly, and all of a sudden, then Pats, the Premier Division side, second in the table, goes out the window because everything changes again. And I think that's something that we're good at. We're good at grinding out games, and we're good. Like we've, to be honest, we're probably fairly used to going out to 10 men now at this stage. Especially this season, we've gone out to 10 men an awful lot. But I thought Paddy Barrett was excellent at the back. I thought Jamie Lennon was superb at the back. When he came in, and I know he changed it then and brought on James Abankwa, who just fits in to that side and is just really, really talented.
Good to watch. Yeah.
Like he didn't put a foot wrong. Looking at Wexford, I thought Paul Cleary at the same time. Now I know down the other end and stuff like that, he gave a penalty and forget about that for a minute. But I thought he was excellent in the game. At centre half, he was captain. Like you expect Locke and Fitz and all that to step up, and they did. But I just thought Paul Cleary was excellent in the side. They definitely missed Kelly and Robinson, who obviously couldn't play because they were on loan from Pats. They definitely missed them in the game. You could see that. But I thought their red card was never a red card. I know it was a second yellow, but never. I also thought he booked a Wexford player 3 times in the game.
I thought that as well, but I can't seem to prove it. But if a few people thought that, it must be true. Because you don't just come out with this out of nowhere. Someone else said it. Someone said it to me, Keane. Sorry, someone said it, and I didn't say anything because I thought I might have been stupid here. But someone mentioned it online. I thought, I'm pretty sure that happened. Yeah. Look at us shaking his head. Yeah. Pretty sure. Yeah.
Don't even let me get started on the refs.
It's difficult. It's difficult not to talk about decisions when they're being made, though. You can't ignore them.
No, you can't ignore them. And look, I have a great respect for the referees in this league, and I'll say it, and I'll always say it. I've absolutely superb respect for them. I have a great chat with them before the games and stuff like that. And it's never like it's never nasty. You never really make a person.
You won't be trying to influence the refs, Keane, now, would you?
Well, I don't think that's working if I am. I do. I just think some of the decisions and stuff like that are questionable in recent weeks, and I think they need to get a handle on it straight away, and because it is going to get out of hand, and it's getting to the stage where it's like a concentration Nazi camp, where you're talking, you get booked, or you can't speak to them, and I don't like that in a game. I don't think that's the way to go. But I think it just needs to be sorted, and I think everyone needs to get together and just try and put this right for the sake of the league, and put whatever differences and stuff like that we have with referees or we have or anything, just iron them all out and get it sorted. Organise a meeting and just even it doesn't have to be the managers, because the managers and the referees in the room together probably won't end well, but. Club officials or someone there on behalf of every club meeting with a referee's assessor or something like that, and maybe something can be done. Darragh Burns was excellent in the game, wasn't he? He was just like, I don't know, like that fella is just what a player he is. And
Irish Footy Vlogs Player of the Week, O'Shea. Darragh Burns.
It's so
no vote.
It's such a joy to be watching this man play on the right wing week in, week out. I think he's really now probably the first name on the team sheet that Pat's team.
Exactly. I mean, O'Shea safely through ultimately to the next round, to be fair. But Darragh Burns, all joking aside, is he a player you would have seen much? He's 19 years of age. He's a good player. He's really stepping up this season. Like, he's been mentioned in the Pats academy for a while. But from what you've seen of him, what's your opinion?
Yeah, he does seem a very good player. Definitely one for the future. And sure, was he in the team that won the under-19 league last year for Pats? Yeah,
Scott winning panel.
Yeah, well there you are. There you are. That's signs of a good academy. Hopefully Harps can do the same in years to come. But yeah, no, definitely one for the future. Definitely keep an eye on him. I've seen him in a couple of matches. I think I've seen him against Waterford one match. But yeah, no, definitely a good player. And he popped up, 2 goals today or on Friday. So Pats will be looking to keep a hold of him anyway in the next few seasons. I'd say he'll be a starter in the next 5 years.
Yeah, certainly. Hopefully he can stay in the team and build on what he's done. But he's been excellent. He's getting better as the season goes on. Shane, Bohemians beat Maynooth 4-0. Buckley, Ward, Levinson, Idawu got the goals here. We had a couple of, I don't know, wily old foxes and Buckley and Ward getting the goals. But the game was killed in 32 minutes when Alex Kelly was sent off. Bowls were 1-up and they quickly went 2 and 3 up. I thought to myself, oh, this could get very ugly, but thank God from Maynooth's point of view, Bohemians, I suppose they kind of put on the handbrake a little bit in this game as well. But interestingly, 16-year-old Jamie Mullins was man of the match as well. Another player to watch. He's featured a few times for them this season, but safely through balls ultimately, and they're going to be serious threat, aren't they, in the cup, Oisin?
Yeah, definitely. I think they're my favourites really to win the cup. But yeah, routine enough win for them. Just a bit unfortunate that the tie was killed, so early. With the red card, as you mentioned. But yeah, no, good day out for the Maynooth fans and the players as well. They brought a good following, which is good.
It's brilliant though.
You like to see it. No, they'll be happy enough. They got to the quarterfinals. And they're non-league side, so. I mean, they're ready, breaking their barriers, so. Yeah, no, fair play to them, and off to Bows. Yeah, I was kind of thinking Jamie Mullins, and the likes of young lads would get a start in the match. Obviously, Georgie Kelly was out suspended because of their last match against Shamrock Rovers. So yeah, no, they have a Omashare up front. I think he's a really good player. He came on in the match on Monday past against Harps, and he just caused so much threat up front. He was really, really good. So yeah, they also, I think he started in the match. So yeah, they have that option. And many Bows fans, kind of Daz was saying too, Bows could struggle without Georgie Kelly, but I think they have the players, in midfield, and like your Omashares, to step up. And of course, Jamie Mullins stepped up on Friday, which is good. Good to see as well. Another young lad, but like Evan Ferguson, so. Yeah, a routine enough win for Bows, and they'll be looking forward now to semi-final. Yeah, I think they'll go far. I think they could be my winners.
I think they have a big game with Derry City on Monday. We'll get onto that in a few minutes or whatever. But Keane, I was just thinking there though, if Bows were to get to the final, you'd have to think those games in the Aviva will stand to them, to be fair.
Yeah, look, it definitely, from playing in Europe and stuff like that, in the Aviva, it's different. The cup final,
yeah.
It's going to be...
It's a cup on offer.
Yeah, it's a 50-50 game. You're going to have the home team on the day, whoever gets the coin flip, and you're going to have the away team, and the place is going to be jammed. You're going to have
two sets of fans, unlike
exactly.
the with the European games, we didn't have that.
Yeah, so it's easy to turn around and say it, but if Dundalk get to the final, that they played there consistently since 2014, they're used to that, I say. Now, I know a lot of the players and stuff like that probably left and all, but you still have a lot of players that play there week in, week out, basically for Dundalk, and that's it's like Tala for Dundalk and the Aviva is probably two home grounds away from home for them. They're just so used to playing in the venues now. But I don't know. It's definitely, it'll stand to them that they've been in it and they've played in it, because Bows haven't played in the Aviva since before Europe. That was their first ever time in the Aviva, so the likes of Pats and stuff like that have got there twice, and you played there twice and things like that. It's different though. It's a cup final, so one off. It's the showpiece in Irish football, and it's such a great day out. But I think it's going to be, everybody is saying they want Pats and Bows and stuff like that in the final, which I think is very disrespectful for the likes of Finn Harps, Dundalk, or Waterford.
Do they, Keane, or is that just the Pats and Bows fans though? Such?
No, I think for the League of Ireland as a whole. Okay. Being honest, if Pats wasn't down for the final, and if Pats got knocked out of the cup, and Bows and Rovers were there, that's the final you want. You know, you want to be there. You want to watch that. You know, they're the big games that people want to be watching. But you know, just think for Finn Harps to get to the cup final for the first time in so many years and go to the Aviva for the very first time and play, and then Waterford under Mark Bertram, a new owner coming in. You know, stuff like that. It's really good, and I think whoever makes the final this year will be fully deserving of it. And I just hope it's a great occasion, no matter who makes it. But you know, I think Pats and Bows kind of had a lot easier of a run into where they are now. You know, College Corinthians and Maynooth, and you know, I know they had a tough one with Shamrock Rovers. You know, and they came out on the right side of that result.
Yeah, I'd agree. We'll get on to the league game. Finished Sligo Rovers 0, Shamrock Rovers 1, and Gaffney with the goal after 26 minutes. Oisín, that's Sligo now. They're 5 points ahead of Derry City. Sorry, 5 points behind Pats. 7 points ahead of Derry. 8 points ahead of Bows, but Bows have 3 games in hand. In terms of qualifying for Europe, Oisín, I suppose Sligo are kind of still in a delicate position, aren't they, a little bit?
Yeah, well, you know, they also had that shocking run there on where they had lost 6 or 7 games in a row, and Harps had beat them, and you know they were knocked out of the cup by Cork and so on. But yeah, no, I think the wins the past few weeks have really helped them, you know, in the challenge for Europe, because you have, you know, as you were mentioning, you had Derry, you have Bows, you know, you had the people coming up at one stage. Drogheda were there, you're sneaking up on you, you know. So yeah, no, they done well to get you know, positive results in the past 2 weeks. So yeah, no, I can see them finishing, you know, third. They definitely see them in Europe next year, but they just need to get a few more wins, just to keep themselves there, because as you said, you know, Bows have 3 games in hand, and if they were to win them and Sligo were to lose a few matches, you know, Bows would be in there ahead of them.
From Shamrock Rovers' point of view, Oisín, now they're 6 clear with a game in hand. Do you think it's going to be difficult for anyone to catch them now? I thought they made business last night, even though it was only 1-0 as well, to be honest.
Yeah, well, last night was kind of really a big match, you know. I mean, if Sligo were to win, it would have really kind of cracked it open a bit. But I'm struggling to see someone who could, you know, challenge them, even Pats. But I'd love to see it. You know, I would love to see, you know, Shamrock Rovers slipping up. It's not just because, you know, I'm not a Shamrock Rovers fan. It's just basically for the league. It's just, you know, it's a bit like Shells in the first division. Coming up to the, you know, last 10 matches, I was hoping, you know, Treaty and Galway would start picking up wins. But then any time Shells drop points, you know, Treaty or Galway wouldn't win. So yeah, no, hopefully, you know, just for the sake of the league, that someone can challenge them. But to be honest, I don't see it happening. I can see them going for another title.
Yeah, Keane, I thought Shamrock Rovers were more impressive actually than the 1-0 suggested last night. You always leave yourself open though when you're 1-0 up, don't you? And in fairness, Ed McGinty did make some decent saves, but I just thought they played better, they passed the ball better. I thought Gaffney was excellent. Apart from the goal, I thought his all-round number 9 play was brilliant in the game. How did you see it overall?
Yeah, they done okay without being great. I don't think, you know, I don't think Rovers were anyway decent in the game. They played some nice football and they kept possession very well. I thought Cotter was unbelievable for them. Like, what a player. He was absolutely fantastic in the game, and he has been since they've came. Sorry, there's bleeding dogs killing each other here. I thought Barry Cotter was excellent in the game.
Yeah.
He was playing some really good stuff, and he even changed position over to the right when Ferrugia came on. It's great to see him back on the pitch. But Rovers didn't really. They played good football, but they didn't create much. They didn't have a lot of chances. They had probably the goals came from a Sligo mistake. The throw in, and you know, then all of a sudden a great save from McGinty, nothing he can do about it. Gaffney was there, the sign of a good striker. Put it away. And that's the sign of champions. They're the games you come out on the right side of. When you look back at the fixture list now in 2 months' time, when you have the league trophy sitting in front of you, looking back and saying, look, we beat Pats in the last minute there. We beat Sligo. That was a big win. We done this, we done that. And, you know, you're looking back on these key moments in the season that tally up your points. Rovers have been 6 points clear, 9 points clear at one stage, I think, as well, in the league. And, you know, all Pats have come back with them, and Sligo have come back with them, and we've closed the gap. So I still think there's a couple of twists or turns. I don't think Pats or Sligo is going to win it, but there's going to be a couple of twists and turns in the league before it's over. And I think for the League of Ireland in general, I think a Pats win next week will do a world of good to just keep it tight. I'm not saying Pats are going to go and win it or anything like it, but for the sake of the league,
they need the winner to keep the interest of everybody in terms.
That's it. And I think you'd like to think that Pats can come out on the right side of it, considering the circumstances with the 2,500 Pats fans of Richmond and stuff like that. It's going to create a good atmosphere. But Sligo, they'll be disappointed because, like I said, Rovers
they
won
huffed
the
and puffed, Keane, didn't they? They huffed and puffed, kind
definitely.
of.
But Rovers won the game without playing well at all. And now I know Sligo didn't really get going. I don't think Greg Bulger refereed the game as good as he usually does. I don't think he was the main man in the game. And I thought he would have been. That's not a criticism to him now at all. Look, he'll know that himself. There's no question about it. He's what a talent he is, what a player, and he's such an asset to that side. Like you've seen how he was with Pats 2 weeks ago. When he shows up in these big games, he puts good performances in, and I just think he'd be disappointed with the result. He tried to get on the ball with them. He'd be fuming with himself more than anything with the throw in. I know it was going into Greg, and he was kind of off balance going into it, and it was beaten. That was it. These things happen in the season, but I think the amount of points that Greg Bulger single-handedly has won for Sligo this year.
Well, that run Nushin talked about, he was out for most of that run, which says it all, doesn't it?
He comes back for the Pats game, and they win, and that's the way it is. But I think I look, Pats are the only team at the minute in them top 3 spots. Pats win the Cup of guarantees that 4th spot for Europe, so it just shows you that I don't think 4th is going to be enough. Probably to get into the cup final and to win it, because if you finish 4th, you're waiting for the cup final. You're waiting to see
squeaky bum stuff, isn't it?
You're waiting to see if Pats can win the cup.
Yeah.
At this minute in time, I'm talking about. You're waiting to see if Pats can win the cup if I'm in Europe or not. And it's not great. You'd like to know where, like, usually in recent years it was always the top 2 in the cup final. So it's going to be a little bit a squeaky bum time, like I said, for that type of thing. But the race is wide open, I think, still. With Bowes, it's in Bowes' hands. If Bowes win every game this year, they've a couple of tough games, and they've an awful lot. So it's a big ask. I don't think any team. I don't think Rovers. I don't think Pats. I don't think Sligo, Dundalk, Bowes, or well, Dundalk definitely not. But I don't think Bowes or stuff like that. I don't think they're going to win every game from now to the end of the season. I can't see any team doing that. I think Pats have to, if they want to have any hope of catching Rovers. But I can't see it happening. But same way, I can't see Rovers winning every game either. So, there's still an awful lot to play for in terms of the league. And, I think Bowes will really be knocking on the door now and trying to finish third, considering it's in their hands. Trying to finish third before they even play, before they even play a cup final maybe coming up or whatever it is. And, make it competitive for themselves. But, that we'll see that tomorrow night now against Derry and see how they get on.
Yeah, Oisin, speaking of that, Bowes obviously take on Derry at Dalymount Park. This is a huge game. It's a game that Kelly's back for Bowes, by the way. Derry actually have the 3rd best away record in the league, interestingly enough. But because of the games in hand and stuff, Oisin, I think Derry kind of have to win this a lot more than Bowes. I know Bowes will say, look, we have to win to try and catch Sligo, but I don't know. If Derry don't win this, I think even 4th is going to be difficult for Derry.
Yeah, well, that's it. Like, and they had that bad start to the season, like, and that's kind of really cost them. I mean, they're better off.
The record's quite good under Higgins. They're up
there.
Yeah. Since he's come in, I think they're the top 2 in the league, believe it or not.
Yeah, and the form guide and all that. Yeah, no, he's done very well since he's come in. The fair play to him and Raf Kataro, like, but yeah, I can't see them making it, to be honest. That's not because I'm a Harps fan. It's just, I just can't see them. I think Bowes would have a better chance of Pippin Sligo, but of course they have to win their matches, in hand. But yeah, no, I think they'll probably have to take 5th or 6th.
Do you expect Bowes to win this match?
They do. Yeah. I think Bows will be up for it. They know, like, they have their own games in hand, and they know if they win them, they have a good chance of sneaking into the top three. So yeah, no, I can see Bows winning. Yeah, although will be great.
Yeah, that's it. As well, they rested an awful lot of their players as well for Minute. So I suppose, no offense to Minute, but it was an ideal match for them with Derry on Monday, wasn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. And as mentioned, Jamie Mullins started, like, so. Yeah, it was a good opportunity to let the young lads have a crack. So yeah, no, that's it. Yeah, definitely for me, I'd say I can see Bows winning this one.
Keane, Bow's home record has been excellent, a bit like Pat's actually since the crowds have come back, and they are that type of club, aren't they?
Yeah, look, I don't think they're relying on fans as much as they used to, and I don't think they're relying on the supporters to get them over the edge anymore. I think they have the quality on the pitch now, which is credit to Keith Long and the lads, because, I think certain times, with Dalymount Park, the attraction was the fans that trying to get you over the line, and that's the way it is. Obviously, every club needs their fans and they need the support, but I don't think Bowes will be relying on it. I don't know whether they're going to win this or not. I think this is going to be a tough one because Derry know that they need to win this as well. It's a must-win game. If you can't win, don't lose, and that's the way it is. I'm going to go for a Derry win here. I just think they might just sneak it because I know Bowes rest a couple of players and stuff like that, but
Derry weren't playing either. Yeah.
So Derry can fully focus on this, and I fancy under Higgins. I fancy Derry to nick this here. I don't know why, I just do.
Yeah, no, they seem to have more of a steal or something. I don't know why, but like Toll is an excellent defender. I still think, by the way, pound for pound, individually, he's the best centre back in the league. Individually, in my opinion, you've got Boyce there. Lafferty's been excellent, particularly going forward for Derry as well. And look, it is a difficult one. I mean, Oisin went for Bowes, didn't he? Yeah, you went for Derry. So what am I going to do?
You can't sit on the fence.
I sit on the fence, John. We're going to go for a draw. I think Derry, honestly, I think Derry are extremely tough to beat. And I think Bowes, look, they're going to have Devoy and Tierney and the likes of Kelly back and players like that. But no, sorry, sitting on the fence. So just before we go as well, we did talk about Harps and Dundalk, but we actually didn't give a prediction. So we'll go around the table. Oisin.
2-1, Harps.
Not Dundalk, no?
No chance.
Cian.
I'm in the away end at this game, so I'd like to...
Be careful.
I'd like to see it. I'm going to go all the way. I think this will go all the way. And I'm going to go for a penalty. I'm not going to call it, but I think it'll go all the way.
You're sitting on the fence. I'm saying penalties as well, by the way, and I'm going Finn Harps.
Ooh.
Right, guys, we'll leave it there. Thanks for watching. Hit your bell notification button and subscribe, and thanks for watching again. Cheers, boys.